All right, guys, welcome back. Sorry it's been so long. Been really busy with life, job change, still hunting for a house or do we build, all that stuff, and a lot of issues with the truck as far as the wire harness, standalone, ECU, all this stuff that I've been researching in my limited free time. On top of juggling some of the older cars, I've got a 50 shoebox. I'm hunting down a Nova. I've got a old Vespa, some other things. So time has been spread very thin. The XP has been neglected for far too long. So I recently ordered some stuff. Let me spin you around and give you an update. All right, guys, so here's the goods, right? So there you have it. Jason Waters Tuning. I'll put a link to his webpage there on my description here right below. He had a lot of really cool stuff on there, very helpful. So he hooked me up with injectors. He's got, oh, sorry, I'm looking with my eyes, not my camera. The nice, what I need and don't need as far as the wire harness and connections, directions. I did pull this out of the box earlier at my house before coming over here. That's why all this is actually plugged in. So, nice little switchboard here, kind of slick. Originally, I had planned on just running everything off a key, but apparently this was included with it, so why not run it? So that comes with fuse box and everything there. I've got the full harness, and then an ECU. I do want to clarify with him. He says it's got a bass tune, and I need to clarify with him because we didn't really go over what was going on as far as turbo and all that stuff. So I'm not sure what the bass tune is tuned to, but there we have it. ECU, wire harness, fuse box, switchboard, injectors. Spent fat stacks of money so I can pull all this stuff out and plug it in. The only hiccup that I have with this is I'm still waiting for my turbo stuff because I had bought it from a buddy of mine who lives a couple hours away, and we haven't connected on getting it actually over here. So I'll be able to throw all that stuff in, but running, what did I even order? I don't even know what injectors I ordered. I have to check. Either 525s or 750s, I believe. Anyways, we're not going to run for crap trying to start that. So unfortunately, I won't be able to start it until I can get all my other stuff slapped on here. So I'm hoping in the next couple weeks I can sync up with him and get that stuff picked up because it's this close to being able to run and drive. My back window, I don't even remember what my last update was. This is just plexi, but it cracked on install. So I have a spare piece. I think I know where my issue lied. Lays? I know where I went wrong, I believe. So I'm going to give it another shot, and if that doesn't work, I do know a guy who has the whole hatch for the rear, $50, and then I can actually just put in the actual glass. I just kind of wanted to avoid that route. But I basically have started doing some of this straight line stuff, getting all the block sanding done, seeing how I like the hard lines rather than rounding anything. It might get all put in hard line and then just end up going over with a block just to slightly round this out, kind of to follow more this shape rather than the hard. But again, that's not decided. I do have finishing up underneath. Oh, lies, I already did that. Okay, so I still have under here that I need to box everything in yet. And then actually mount my intercooler, which I haven't ordered. I do have the radiator, some of that stuff. So that's kind of where I lie right now. I do have a hood. I don't think that was on the last time. There's my Vespa. It's a home senior care center hood. But so I actually have a hood now. Still need this fender because the dog leg is rusted on it. And then I still need to wide body the front and everything. But I would really like to see it. I think if I heard it run and got to move it, I would be a lot more motivated. And then I'd kind of, I don't know, keep trucking. But that's where I'm at. So I'm going to set cam up, start ripping all the harness stuff out. I do have a fuel pump that can get hooked up because this nifty little guy here that he's got set up with this gives ignition, fuel, and the fan, which I can run all those because all of those are aftermarket on mine. So that actually is kind of slick. I'm really happy with everything that he's got there so far. So if it all plugs in and fits well there, then I will be super, super happy. But as far as quality over there goes, so far very happy. So I'm going to pull this stuff off and see how that goes. Okay, so literally all of the other harness side of it is pulled. Still really dirty in here. A lot of sanding dust from the filler and whatnot. And then I've got a bunch of random vacuum lines and all this other garbage that doesn't look nice in here. But ignore all that. The harness side of it is pulled. Now I can start plugging some of that stuff in, run all of the switches up. I've got to do actual wiring on the fuel pump, which is in there, and then the fan, which I can't do until I've got it mounted, an ignition, starter, etc. So there is quite a bit of farting around with that. I also just realized in order to actually put my injectors on, I need to put them in. So yeah, anyways, this will get us at least rolling in the right direction. So I'll keep trucking on that, but there you have it. Okay, so I've gotten quite a few of these things buttoned up here or plugged in. I do have a handful of ones that aren't plugged in. He sent me this nifty little marked out what I need to connect and don't need to connect. And because I keep looking at things and I'm like, oh, where does this go? And I look back and see that I don't need to plug it in. What I'm going to actually do is just go through here and tape off the things I don't need. That way I don't keep trying to find where they go. So there's some extra things, oil pressure, knock sensor, oxygen sensor, extra wires, fan switch, H2O sending unit for the gauge cluster, reverse lights. Those are what I'm going to go ahead and get taped off. The injectors, there's no point in hooking them up right now because I have to put the other ones in. And then the only other thing I've got to do a little bit of research on, it says TPS and map, but everything online was showing a map sensor. Oh, wait. Maybe it's one of these guys. Never mind. You saw it here? Live. Fix the issue. Okay. Well, the only other issue I have is I've got to cut my little tie there because I obviously can't reach my TPS. So I'm going to clean some of that stuff up. And then I believe where I'm at is then just being down to this area, which is the fuse box in ECU. Again, I don't really like, I guess if I could run this into the dry, I'd rather have the ECU not in here. And then I guess I just have the fuse box behind the seats as well or something. But if I can do that, then I can run my switchboard inside, wire up my fuel pump, ignition stuff, starter, and then I believe I can try and start fitting my radiator and wire up the fan. And I think at that point all my electrical is wired, with the exception of the wideband and stuff that'll actually have to be for the turbo when I can get that stuff picked up. But after that's all done, I would like to get as much of this area cleaned up and buttoned up, then probably move on to take that broken plexi out, see if I can get the next one in. I also realized I should not have tinted it before putting it in, because then once I did my curve, it peeled some of that stuff up in the top corners. I don't know if you can see it at that angle, but do that. And then probably the most tedious part of just continuing on the body work, but get you in time lapse and get moving faster. Okay guys, so here we are behind the passenger seat. I've got the wire ran through the, I don't know what you want to call this, rear cab, firewall. Behind this, the ECU is right there. What I've done is I've drilled 2 holes so far, and then I've got my nice little riv nut tool. I have a video on that, talks about it if you want to see it. It's really nifty, but I'm going to run those in there so I can get my ECU mounted up on that off the ground, get it solid mounted and everything, and then continue to run my wires up. And hopefully I'll be able to reach from there up to there for my switchboard, which I had already test fit and it did fit. The only thing that's concerning is I don't think the setup here for wire harness and everything is meant to be ran from way back there all the way up. You know, usually it's from there to there. So I'm hoping I don't come up short, but I'm gonna start with this and then I'll start running that and see where we land. All right, so I've got the wire ran up to the power just for now. It's just kind of janky ran in there for testing's sake. Same with the panel here. I'd like to actually make a nice plate. It's just sitting in here just to see if it would fit. I have power to it. I don't have my fuel fan accessories ran. I don't have a starter wire ran yet as far as actual power. I've got the exciter, but no power back to it. But that stuff's all hooked up there. I still gotta hook up the ground for, oh geez, there we go. Hook up the ground for some of that stuff too. That's just kind of where it's sitting for now. But yeah, so that's where that's currently at. I think this is where this video is gonna end, just because I know I'm busy for the next couple, well, at least the next week or so. Also earlier when talking about that being the firewall, I kind of realized I need to get some sound deadening ordered so I can put that inside and out, so I don't have to listen to that all the time while driving. But I'll get that ordered. Hopefully that'll come, and then next time I'll start mocking up my radiator. I'm hoping I can sync up with my buddy who I got the turbo kit from, so hopefully I can have some of that stuff going, change injectors, change exhaust and everything, so I can start actually mounting that stuff. I've got to order side mount intercooler as well, and then maybe I can actually fire it up by the end of next video. Maybe, we'll see. Depends what comes in and where I'm at. But there you have it, guys. Sorry it's been so long. Hopefully now I can start cracking a little bit more on weekdays and weekends when I've got some free time. But like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think.